It's your lucky day, guys. I decided to show you the whole kit and caboodle making these pizzas tonight. I already put a little video out there for tofu pepperoni, so check that out. But here's the crust and the toppings, and we'll see how it all ends up. Getting ready for some veggie toppings for a pizza. So I have a red pepper, a yellow pepper, half of a really big onion, and some mushrooms that I've just cut in half. You can, of course, totally chop these by hand, but this is super simple. I'm going to send all these guys in here. I usually cut these peppers in halves and then thirds, and they fit in here pretty well. So here we go. Just gonna mix these up so we have everything evenly, because I'm gonna put some of these in here. This is for two different pizzas. One's gonna be the tofu pepperoni, and I think I'll make a barbecue with garbanzo beans are the other ones. So what I like to do for the pepperoni one, give us a little garlic powder and pepper, and I'll put pepper on the barbecue one as well. Probably garlic too, why not? And then for the pepperoni one, I'll put some Italian seasoning. But not on the barbecue one. I'll leave that with the pepper and garlic. Here's the gluten-free pizza crust recipe I use, and this looks like a big mess, but if you just take the basic part and make it your own, you'll be good. And this is from Sarah Bakes, gluten-free. It's been a really nice recipe for us. And here's the flour blend that she uses, and I'll be using this today, but I've also used just Bob's Red Mill, like this 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, and it works great. It works just fine, just the same as the homemade one. Okay, so for crust number one, and I'm gonna do them separately, it's just easier that way. One has Italian seasoning in it and the barbecue crust will not. So here's the 2 cups of the gluten-free flour, homemade or pretty much whatever you have. Here's the 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning. Rather than using a ½ teaspoon each of basil and oregano, I just choose to use this. And a ½ teaspoon of salt. That's all in here. Give that a quick stir. Then I'm going to bring over the 1½ cups of water. This also has the 2 tablespoons each of maple syrup and olive oil in it. For the liquid, this crust is super easy. You just pour this in. Do its thing for just a little bit. I usually get a spatula in here to make sure the bottom is make sure all the dry stuff's getting out of the bottom. I'm gonna spread that on one of these big baking sheets with paper on it and bake it like the recipe says at 425 for 20 or so minutes, and then we're going to top it and bake it again. This is not your typical pizza dough, it's a batter, so you just have to spread it out on here with a spatula. And yeah, we'll pop that in the oven. Okay, quickly so I can get it in the oven. Here we go on the second crust. This is the 2 cups of gluten-free flour mix, and then I have the 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and I decided to put 1/2 teaspoon each of paprika and garlic. This is going to be the barbecue pizza, so rather than the Italian type herbs, I'm going to use those, and that should go nicely with the barbecue. Did not bother washing this because no big deal. Another pizza crust coming up. And here's the 1.5 cups of water, 2 tablespoons oil, and maple syrup. Once again, this is so quick and easy. I just make sure the dry stuff is off that bottom. And then just let it rip. Second one is ready. This pan has a really dark patina on it, so I really make sure I get it in an upper rack in the oven, up above the other one, because it actually bakes hotter, I guess, and so it gets darker. So 13 minutes left. I will have to add about another 10 minutes to the second one when I pull the first one out, which is perfect. That way I have time to top the first one and then switch them around, and presto, pizza, time to go. She's so cute. Gonna be pulling the first one out. Woo! Wow. Okay, crust number 1. Looking beautiful. I'm gonna be putting some pizza sauce on. You could just use marinara or whatever you got. The veggies with Italian seasoning, pepper and garlic, and our tofu pepperoni. So here we go. And then our tofu pepperoni in another cute bowl. I had this in the oven for about 20 minutes earlier today after we first made it, so it's a little bit, it's got a good texture to it. It's not total mush. And we usually have a little bit left, which is fine because people use it throughout the week to make little somethings, little quesadillas or whatever. There. Last but not least, our cashew cream. All this is a cup of raw cashews, 3/4 cup water, a tablespoon lemon juice, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And you put that in your high-speed blender. Voila, cashew cream. Takes the place of sour cream or cheesy stuff. We kind of keep going back to this for our pizzas because it's just simple. There we go, and I'm going to stick that back in for about 10 minutes. That guy's almost done. Just as a side note, I really like to clean up as I go, so I don't end up with national disaster in the kitchen here. Okay, so onto the barbecue. One. I don't know if you've ever had barbecue pizza before, but it's really good. You should try it. Definitely your favorite barbecue sauce. Or you can make your own. I've done that before, but not recently. Bunch of veggies. These just have the pepper and garlic on them. Something like that. And then some garbanzo beans, chickpeas. Just gonna sprinkle these around. Might work better to mush them a little bit, but I don't know. I just didn't. That's like way plenty. And top with our cashew cream. Once again. Sometimes we go through this stuff pretty quickly. Depending on what we're eating. Of course. Put that back in the oven for about 10 minutes and we're good to go. We're also almost out of our vegan Parmesan. It's your lucky day, you get to see how to do that too. Here's the recipe we're using. Cup of cashews. So we're going to do that. A cup of cashews into the food processor. 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Just nice, bold, flaky stuff. Just tastes nice and cheesy. 2, 3, 4. A teaspoon of salt. Because cheese is salty. I know, it's a lot of salt. And a teaspoon of our granulated garlic. And that is it. We just get it going. It's gonna be noisy. And it's done. You're done. I know that was really hard, right? Just kidding. No, it's super simple and everybody loves it, and it's plant-based. Yay! Here's the tofu pepperoni pizza. And the barbecue one will look similar, you guys saw it. So we're just going to put some of our vegan parm on and have some veggies with that and call it good for Friday night pizza night. If you guys are making pizza, man, you got to see like almost every recipe, or at least I gave it to you. And the tofu pepperoni is in a different video you can look up. It's just a really quick one. So yeah, you came the right day. See all these recipes. If you give any of them a try, let me know. Tell me how it went down below, and remember to have fun.